The community's Action in Solidarity and Association Jesus Solidarity invite you to listen to the Living Gospel. Today, April 26, let us meditate on the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 24, verses 13 to 35, with commentary from Father Patxi Loidi in the voice of Frix del Rosario. Proclamation of the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. Now that very day, two of them were going to a village 7 miles from Jerusalem called Emmaus, and they were conversing about all the things that had occurred. And it happened that while they were conversing and debating, Jesus himself drew near and walked with them. But their eyes were prevented from recognizing him. He asked them, "What are you discussing as you walk along?" They stopped, looking downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, said to him in reply, "Are you the only visitor to Jerusalem who does not know of the things that have taken place there in these days?" And he replied to them, "What sort of things?" They said to him, "The things that happened to Jesus the Nazarene, who was a prophet, mighty in deed and word, before God and all the people. How our chief priests and rulers both handed him over to a sentence of death and crucified him. But we were hoping that he would be the one to redeem Israel. And besides all this, it is now the 3rd day since this took place." Some women for our group, however, have astounded us. They were at the tomb early in the morning and did not find his body. They came back and reported that they had indeed seen a vision of angels who announced that he was alive. Then some of those with us went to the tomb and found things just as the women had described, but him they did not see. And he said to them, "Oh, how foolish you are! How slow of heart to believe all that the prophets spoke! Was it not necessary that the Messiah should suffer these things and enter into his glory?" Then, beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them what referred to him in all the scriptures. As they approached the village to which they were going, he gave the impression that he was going on farther. But they urged him, "Stay with us, for it is nearly evening and the day is almost over." So he went in to stay with them. And it happened that, while he was with them at table, he took bread, said the blessing, broke it, and gave it to them. With that, their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, but he vanished from their sight. Then they said to each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he spoke to us on the way and opened the scriptures to us?" So they set out at once and returned to Jerusalem, where they found gathered together the 11 and those with them who were saying, "The Lord has truly been raised and has appeared to Simon." Then the two recounted what had taken place on the way and how he was made known to them in the breaking of the bread. The word of the Lord. Father Patxi's commentary. Dear friends, before us is a precious spiritual story which has been a great success not only in catechesis and preaching, but also in literary art. We could title it like this: When and how do we find the risen Lord today? In the beginning, Luke implies that it is Jesus himself who comes to meet us and manifests himself to us. But we don't see him with the eyes of the flesh, like those 2 disciples who did not recognize him. The 2 disciples were leaving Jerusalem. They had lost hope and left the community. Their disappointment is evident in 2 words: "We expected." They no longer expect anything or give credit to the women. There are 4 ways in which the risen Jesus is present in us. When we talk about him even when we are disappointed, when someone explains the scriptures to us and reveals their depth to us, when we share the bread which becomes the Eucharist, and when we return to the community to share our experiences, joyful or painful, and we listen to the experiences of our sisters and brothers. Luke wanted to communicate these encounters with the risen one, and he has done so with a beautiful literary work, loaded with poetic spirit. He also invites us to talk about Jesus, not exactly how bad the word is, but about Jesus, to unravel the sacred text with other believing sisters and brothers, to participate and lovingly share the Eucharist, and to return to the ecclesial community, even if we are somewhat discouraged. Of course, all this happens from the simplicity of accepting His presence, even though our faith has fallen to the ground, because it is He Himself who comes to meet us and communicates the mystery to us. And we perceive Him, even in the midst of discouragement, when we have the simplicity of the straight line and not the curves and revolts in which we hide ourselves, to continue lying in infertile despair. Dear brothers and sisters, hopefully we meet the Lord today as He has already come to meet us. Prayer, the inner eye. Day by day, waiting for ocular appearances, only opening our eyes of flesh. It turns out you have already come, and present in the here and now. Oh, we poor Emmaus walkers! What darkness, Lord, if we don't see you, for not opening our deeper eye. Could it be that we must hide the external view to see from within? What a waste of ineffable joy that you gave us in this very life, for not having an active inner eye. What sadness to be only an applied disciple, who carefully complies with your teaching, yet never accesses your private bedroom. What a pity, following you without enthusiasm, sharing your table from a distance, and receiving you at home with finesse and little heart. Open, Lord, my inner eye of the Spirit, like the Emmaus walkers, and light a living flame within me, to shine like them with your fire.